So why do models hallucinate? So there's really no consensus on this. Like there's so many different opinions out there. I think the most common opinion I've heard, and I actually think this is mostly wrong, is that the models are citing incorrect information from the internet. So that gets at the first thing which I have there, which the models have no way of differentiating between a high quality news source like the New York Times or Wall Street Journal and something they read on Twitter from Elon or whoever wants to make stuff up on Twitter or social media. So they have no knowledge, they have no understanding of the quality of a source. Google, we have some ex-Googlers here, maybe some present ones, I don't know. Google came to prominence because they improved search by looking at the authority of a website, right? By using the page score. These models have no concept of page rank when they're memorizing this information. They don't know any difference between something that's right and is from a reliable source and something that comes from a noisy or untrustworthy source. The second reason would be noisy and conflicting information. So there's a lot of noise in the web in a similar vein. And the models may come across multiple pieces of conflicting information. And these models aren't trained to, as a human would do, to take those different pieces of information and try to determine what is the actual correct one. They're not trying to rationalize or compare sources or this, that, and the other. All they're trying to do is slot fill, right? So they're given a bunch of text, pieces of that text are removed, words, and then trying to guess what is the most likely word. So really they are being trained, if you think about how they're trained, to confidently guess data points. And that's really at the heart of, I think, why they're very good at confidently making stuff up, is because that's how they're trained. The third reason, and I think this is one of the more compelling ones, is that of data compression. So even something like GPT-4, which is rumored to be like 1 trillion parameters, no one knows, but, well, people know, but no one's admitting to exactly what it is. But it's rumored to be about 1 trillion parameters. Even within 1 trillion parameters, you probably cannot fit the entirety of the world's knowledge accurately into one model. And so to get around that, the model is learning to have to compress the information. And doing so, it gets things that are similar confused. And it is a lossy form of compression if you're a CS person. I think it's best summarized by this phrase from New Yorker from an article in February where they said the ChatGPT is a blurry JPEG of the internet. It's really like a lossy compressed version of the internet. And in that decompression, data is lost and made up. And lastly, I already touched on this, the method of training, like these models are trained in a way that information is removed and they are asked to guess at what the best guess is at the answer. And so if you train a model in that way, and it's not surprising then, it's a confident guesser of misinformation.